Hello again. When we squeegeed this down, mashed this down to this piece of aluminum, we use this roller press. This is Chinese made. I paid about $200 for it a year and a half ago. It's nice for doing this. I don't know that it would work very well for a rotogravure, but for handmade prints, this is perfectly fine. Many people prefer to use a squeegee. This is a typical hardware store window squeegee. I like the brass ones, and if you're buying one, pick up some extra blades. There's a rubber blade in here that's replaceable. The squeegee's about $10. The blades are about $2 a piece. They're hard to get. Sometimes the hardware stores don't stock them, so if you can find the blades, grab a few while you're at it. They're handy to have. If you were to squeegee this, all you would do is lay this down and do this several times with quite a bit of pressure. The first pass should be, the tissue should have a lot of water in it, and you should push down really hard and go rather rapidly. Don't stop. That'll help push out the bubbles. Excuse me. What we're going to do now is get a tray of warm water to develop this. I'm going to dump the cold water that we used, and I'm going to put water here that's 110 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a little bit too hot for a bath. You know, 90 degree, 95 degree water Fahrenheit, you'll have to convert that, is probably what you would get into a bathtub. 110 is going to feel awfully hot. And I can judge pretty much with my hand in a glove what the temperature is. You can go from, say 105 to 115. I'm going to check the temperature again. And I've got my thing set on Fahrenheit this time, and the last time I gave you centigrade. This is about 108, so that's a good temperature. I'm going to take what we call the mated pair and put it into the hot water and let it sit. Now, we did make this image with a piece of number 70 gravure tissue. That's a red oxide color. It is, you saw it in the original video. It's often called Venetian red or red oxide. It's a very permanent pigment. It's not one typically used to make an image that we would do on this. We're using what we would use to make a stencil, a print on a copper plate for etching. But people have in the past used the Autotype G35, G25 tissue to make images. It gets rather boring after a while having a lot of brick red images. We're waiting for the heat. What the principle here is the gelatin has absorbed some water during the mating process. We soaked it in cold water. Gelatin will soak water faster when the water is colder. This is counterintuitive. It seems odd that that happens. So in the summertime here, the water can run 80 degrees, and if we try to put the tissue in here, it would get all mushy and soggy on the surface. It would start to melt. I'm going to try to move this along. And I'm trying to pick up a corner here. Stuck down pretty well. Now if I let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes, it would come off a lot more rapidly, but now it's peeling off pretty good. This part, of course, we throw away, as you might have done before with the autotype tissue. A little bit of agitation. The outside edge has been overexposed because no negative has been on there, so it's a little slippery, a little hard to hold on to with rubber gloves, but I'm just getting this out. It doesn't hurt anything, even if it floats across the image. It's so lightweight, it won't hurt. And I just like to get it out of there. Sometimes it leaves an initial drag image across the surface, but it develops out. Okay. A little bit of agitation. Now you can see the image start to form and the gelatin coming off. This, in case you're curious, is an image I shot on 4x5 of the LA city skyline about 1972. Now what I'm going to do is let this sit for a minute, and to stop the development, cold water. This will continue to develop for quite a period of time. If you've got a good adherence, it can sit for half an hour if you're making an image, and it will, as you can see, there's still pigment coming off. At some point we want to stop that development. Now this aluminum has been prepared with a thin coating of GAC, golden GAC, GAC 100 multi-purpose polymer, and I put it on with what we call a hot dog roller. I'll do another video later showing you how to do that, but these little rollers are available in most paint stores and hardware stores, and they work pretty good for putting the polymer on. Now I'm going to start to freeze this development by putting it in water that's about 65 degrees Fahrenheit. As it goes into the cold water, and there's a little spot of gelatin there that I'll take out. But the cold water, if I have to sit this up, I don't want to lay it flat to dry, because it'll puddle and create all kinds of problems. I want to set it on edge, and I want to use the cold water to stop it from flowing. There's a slight mask mark around here, and what I would